Happy New Year, everyone. Big here for Serpent X Tech. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine and Crypto, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice, coffee, energy drink, tea, whatever you got. And if you don't like some caffeine, grab some damn water as we go over this week's crypto news. Been on hiatus for the holidays, obviously. Just waking up, wanted to sleep in today because the holidays, as much as we enjoy them, was, pretty much working for family, helping them out, doing things, odds, ends, fixed 2 computers, helped out, grandma, Pappy around the bar and all that good stuff. So we're back in action. 2025. How are you feeling? How are you thinking? What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen? Are we getting up to 100K anytime soon? Well, we're gonna go over all that, as well as a couple of the articles that I got lined up here for us, as far as Bitcoin investors, what MicroStrategy's doing, IRS confusion as far as the crypto tax reporting, and then I guess delaying it, as well as altcoin performance, the markets, XRP. The FDIC issued the banks basically hey, if you do this, look out. U.S. regulators, Coinbase shares the FDIC letters. South Korea looking to making an ETF, which would be pretty cool. And then crypto VCs reveal what they're looking for in 2025, right? Is it going to be D-pins? Is it going to be RWAs? All that in today's episode of Caffeine and Crypto. Thank you for stopping by. Do me a favor, hit that like button as we get into it. First of all, let me check the chat. Say hello to everybody. What's up, Chris Hanley? Yeti, Case Rocker, how you doing? Jay Bohannon, Will, Mike, DJ Death Star on the ones and twos. Hope you're all doing good. So, yeah, 2025, man. Ladies and gentlemen, 2025. Look at Sue, by the way. Sue is up to $5.18. Yashnik, that's looking pretty good, baby. That's looking pretty good. ARB up 5.4% at around 87 cents. We even have, where's XRP? XRP is down a little bit, but it's at $2.42. BNB's back over 700. Ethereum still below 4K and Bitcoin below 100K. So a few altcoins doing pretty good. Some of the other coins, some of the mainstays, some inkling, right? It's unfortunate, like Chainlink, I would like for that to climb up as well. I know Doge is up to like almost 40 cents now, so we'll have to see, what happens, what transpires. Looking at the charts though for Bitcoin, still chopping sideways as the altcoins kind of have a nice little rally, but on the daily over this past week, if we count from the 1st of January or about, because the beginning of this week was the end of December, right? So the 29th, the 30th, and 31st. But if we count from the 1st or about the 31st, where we were hit 92K, we hit lower than 92K, almost 90K on Monday at the beginning of the week. So we went from 92K, let's measure that real quick, over to a high of almost 100K, let's say 99K flat. And now we're sitting up about 6.74%. So not bad. Hopefully we can, move up from here. Maybe next week. We'll see. We'll see how things pan out. But zoom out and things still look good. Yes, we had a severe pullback. Yes, the holidays tend to do that to us. But it's all good. Excuse me 1 second. It is all good. A little chilly here in North Florida. I know it's getting chilly for most of you. Hope you guys are being safe, by the way, up there further north than me. You're going to have some ice. Not that I'm a weatherman, but I do love nature and keeping an eye on the weather. And so you guys are going to get some ice, some snow. So just be safe out there. Make sure your houses are squared away. Make sure you got enough to sustain you and your family, your household, whatever it might be. Moving on to news articles. Bitcoin investors pull $333 million from BlackRock IBIT ETF and record outflow. Right, so record outflows. So BlackRock's IBIT, iShares Bitcoin Trust, or IBIT, recorded its biggest daily outflow since the launch, it launched a year ago, as U.S. trading resumed following New Year's Day closure. BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF saw a record outflow of $332.6 million on January 2nd, according to the data from Farside Investors. It was the biggest outflow since the product launched in January 2024, eclipsing the previous record of 188 million on December 24th. So record outflows not only on December 24th, but also on the 2nd of January. Is it done? Well, you can't be mad at the people that don't want direct exposure to Bitcoin, right? They're not going out there and buying Bitcoin themselves, but they're allocating 1, 2, 3, 5% of their portfolio into Bitcoin. And let's say that they got in around that 60 something K, 58K range, right? And so, yeah, they're taking profits in the new year. And they're probably going to offset that with some tax loss harvesting or whatever. I mean, they might just get back in. I'm not sure if there's a time delay. I know there was a time delay for Grayscale, like if you remove from Grayscale's ETF, but we'll see. But outflows usually indicate that people are just either taking profits or getting out of their position. It doesn't help the situation because we really would like to get back over 100K. But it maybe when they come back in, if they come back in, it'll be a hopeful push to get back into that area that we're looking for. Did anybody win the Kraken giveaway, by the way, by guessing the correct price of Bitcoin on the date at that time? Like I did 102K is what I was suspecting. But, you know, I wonder who won that giveaway from Kraken. It was pretty cool. Basically, you called the price of Bitcoin at that time. And if your price was the closest, you won an entire Bitcoin, I believe. So that would have been cool to have. What's up, Max Voltage? Thank you for stopping by. Crypto Pounder 4. Hope you all doing well. But yeah, so the latest outflows may be seen as just a blip in BlackRock's fund, ranking third for inflows among the ETFs in the United States in 2024, with 37 billion, according to the data from Bloomberg shared by senior ETF analyst Eric. Oh my goodness, I can't pronounce your name, Eric. Balchunas? I suck at these words. Anyways, the leading ETF was the Vanguard 500 Index Fund with 116 billion in inflows for the year, while the iShares Core S&P 500 ETF closed second with 89 billion in inflows. So maybe in 2025, Bitcoin ETFs take top spot via more inflows and higher prices, says a Adam Backed, right? So bucking the spot ETF outflow trend on January 2nd, where Bitwise, Fidelity, ARC21 shares, which saw funds inflows of 48.3 million, 36.2 million, and 16.5 million. Grayscale's Bitcoin Mini Trust also saw a minor inflow of 6.9 million. The total outflow for the day came to around 242 million as BlackRock canceled out the inflows of competitors. So, right, some inflows on some of the competitors, but then a large majority of outflows on BlackRock. Is there anything to be concerned about? In summary, no. That's the summary. I read the article to you, but let me just give you the answer. No. I wouldn't be too concerned about this. MicroStrategy, we also saw Wolf also mentioned this on Twitter. MicroStrategy eyes more Bitcoin with potential 2 billion preferred stock offering. And the way they termed it, let me just put it to you this way. In summary, it's very positive news. The way they're trying to do it. And MicroStrategy, we already know what they are. They're basically raising 2 billion for a perpetual preferred stock offering to buy more Bitcoin in a move that would expand on the company's 21-21 plan. The perpetual preferred stock may be obtained through converting MicroStrategy's Class A common stock, paying a cash dividend, redeeming shares, or a combination of these. The Bitcoin stacking business intelligence firm explained on January 3rd statement from Michael Saylor. The offering is separate from MicroStrategy's ongoing plan to raise 21 billion in equity and 21 billion in fixed income instruments, a strategy it has largely implemented in the recent months to fuel its Bitcoin buying spree through the senior convertible notes and debt. The perpetual preferred stock offering with MicroStrategy intends to be used to strengthen its balance sheet and buy more Bitcoin. That's basically it, right? MicroStrategy wants to get more Bitcoin. But in turn, right, if MicroStrategy is doing this, if the major banks are doing this, and they're trying to accumulate more Bitcoin, and you know there's a lot of stuff, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but there's a lot of stuff happening over the counter, OTC, right? And sometimes that's not going to affect the price. If we have a large purchase order, and like say, for example, I'm a billionaire, you're a billionaire, you have Bitcoin you want to sell and you need fiat, and I have money, fiat, that I want to buy Bitcoin with, we can just transact directly with one another and not even affect the charts. Be like, hey, I will pay a fixed price at this. Do you agree? You, no, negotiate, get to a price we both agree at, boom. You send me the Bitcoin in percentages or portions, and I send you the fiat. So there's a lot of OTC trading going in the background, especially with some of the big players that we don't get to see, and then we might hear about it later on with filing or reporting or whatever it might be. So just bear that in mind. But anyways, we got a quote here that says, however, the decision whether to proceed with or consummate the offering is in MicroStrategy's sole discretion and subject to the market and other conditions. So I guess if the market grows too fast, they might not do all. But if it dumps, I can see Michael Saylor and the company buying a large portion. MicroStrategy may choose not to proceed or consummate the offering at all, is what they're saying. Still, I think this is a positive indicator, right? We know Michael Saylor has been a proponent for Bitcoin, pro-Bitcoin. And you know, the company has done well since its continual investment into Bitcoin. So will we see other companies get into it? I definitely think so. Will we see a huge effect from something like this? I wouldn't say a huge effect, but a significant effect nonetheless, right? Especially if you got multiple banks buying throughout 2025. And I do think, and this is just my personal opinion, I could be wrong, right? But just taking into effect where we're at, the overall like sentiment, I guess you could say, I do believe Q1 is going to be a good quarter for Bitcoin. I could be wrong. We could pull back. I know some people are calling for like an $80,000 Bitcoin. Some people are even calling for a $40,000 Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to see a $32,000 or $40,000 Bitcoin in the future. I don't think so. Not unless it's like a significant, you know, black swan event, maybe 2026, geopolitical, global tension, bull crap, maybe, you know, and that would be just in my eyes, a buy the dip opportunity for me. May not be for you. But, you know, everybody's waiting on the sidelines like, was that it? Was that it? Was that 100K? Like, was that it? Like, are we done? Are we seriously done? Right? And so Bitcoin's all-time high, if we look at the chart, at least on USDT, is, you know, basically 108K. You know, was that it? Are we done? I think there's still some... Okay. 70% says no. 30% skeptic mind says could have been. Did I take profits? Did I take enough profits to cover whatever I need? And it's okay to take profits. Don't be afraid to take profits. Go ahead and do what's best for you, your setup, your configuration, your household, whatever it might be. But I'm going to hang on to my Bitcoin a little bit longer, and I'm playing the long game. What I mean by the long game is me personally, like, I don't think the government can guarantee, at least here in the United States, can guarantee pension/Social Security. So I'm playing the long game. So that way I don't have to work till I'm like 102, right? I'd like to retire at the retirement age, if not sooner. But that's all depending on, well, obviously how my investments do, right? Whether it's real estate, gold, crypto, whatever. I do have a little bit of gold, very small percentage of gold. I would like to have more real estate, but it's a work in progress. All my cars are paid off. My kids, one kid's in college, the other kid's going into college, and that is not cheap. Senior kids, if your children are going to be seniors one day, just mentally prepare yourself. That shit is expensive. It is expensive, but it's all for the greater good, right? Make sure your kids have a good time, enjoy their youth before they get out into the crazy world that we love or hate, whichever one you are. Anyways, moving back on to Bitcoin, MicroStrategy owns about 446,000 Bitcoin, valued at around 43.9 billion. It purchased about 257,000 in Bitcoin just in 2024. It has purchased a dollar cost average of, all right, so the overall Bitcoin that they bought is averaged around 62. Like the average cost per purchase is 62,500, which is actually not bad considering where you are. I know some people, average cost of Bitcoin was $113. $113. Can you imagine that? How up they are? But yeah, good job to the OGs that are still my friends. Anyways, Saylor's Bitcoin strategy also benefited MicroStrategy's shares massively, which increased 13.2 on January 3rd to 339.6, up about 438%. So they're talking about the actual stock for MicroStrategy growing as well. So I think what MicroStrategy is doing and MicroSailor is doing, or what they plan to do possibly, because they said they can always not do it, would be beneficial to obviously Bitcoin. And then the whole ETF news, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. So 2 positive indicators there. Let's see what's going on here. IRS crypto tax. Max, actually. Max Voltage. If you haven't checked this out, he does a show Mondays with Max. I would urge you to check it out. I don't have it linked in the description, but you can find Max Voltage. You in the community should know who Max Voltage is. Very intelligent gentleman. Talked about this, right? So IRS crypto tax reporting requirements stir up mass confusion. Obviously, when this first came out, there was a lot of back and forth on X or Twitter and social medias. I was not privy to it or keeping up with it because, again, I was in the holidays, focusing on family and stuff like that. But yeah, it caused up quite a bit. Taxpayers are required to accurately identify the cost basis or purchase price for their crypto prior to selling it in order to properly calculate any capital gains. Otherwise, exchanges could assume that the customers are selling the oldest asset first. An accounting method called first in, first out, or FIFO. There's only one problem with that. Some exchanges weren't able to upgrade the system with the necessary functionality needed to comply with the aforementioned guidelines by December 31st deadline stipulated by the IRS, forcing the agency to push the requirement back by a full year. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I can tell you that the exchanges I use seem to have it working. Because I can see, just like we were talking about the cost basis for MicroStrategy's Bitcoin, I can see my position. It's not always accurate on Coinbase, but I could see my position. And I always, and I urge every single one of you, and I'll check chat here in a minute if you guys are sending me a super chat or anything like that. I'm sorry if I missed it. I'll try to look for it here in just a second. Thank you for the raid. What's up, Crypto Mikel? Oh, Retro Mike, how you doing, buddy? Check your DM. I'm still looking for you. Or I will plan to. Anyways, where the hell was I at? Taxes. So, it's stupid because I have a ledger of a ledger, right? So the blockchain is a ledger, right? You can always go back into your blockchain, use the block explorers, find a transaction, blah, 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 right? So it's a ledger, right? But I have a ledger, a physical ledger, whether it's typed out or written down, and I have a ledger of a ledger, and I track stuff, right? I mined this much, I did this much, I traded this much, I sold that much. And Coinbase makes it really easy. And I've gone over this multiple times. If you're new to crypto taxes, I personally, and I think Max is the favorite program is Coinly. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but Coinly, they have proposed as one of the best ones out there last tax season. I've been using just TurboTax because I can connect it to my Coinbase, my Acorns, my Cash App, boom, put everything in. If it's past the date that they give you the paperwork, right, your documentation, it will automatically import it, and then I just got to comb through it. And I do take the time to comb through the transactions, to have multiple screens up, multiple windows going, and I'm validating. What was this? Oh, that came in on this day from NiceHash, so that would have been blah, 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 blah. I don't mine through NiceHash anymore. I'm not going to talk about that. But the point is like I can go back and see if it was mining, buying, selling, trading, whatever it might be. If it was an external wallet to internal wallet or exchange wallet, right? I can see all that. And note that when you're moving funds around from an exchange to an external wallet that you still own, the IRS is going to see that and basically count it as a sale, which is kind of odd to me. So there's a lot of nuances in there, and there's ways that you can structure it. If you don't know, I would urge you to go to a proper tax professional or CPA to do your taxes. But there's a lot of nuance in there that I can't give you one blanket statement that will fix it all for you. But I do like, what's the other one besides Coinly though, Max? So this is the one that Max likes. So Coinly, right? What is it? Crypto taxes, tax reporting. There's another one that I liked that I had linked. Coin Ledger I heard was pretty good. We've seen a lot of the big influencers talk about like Altcoin Daily, Coinly, Cointracker.io, Cointracking.com. But again, TurboTax allows me to just connect to my Coinbase and connect to my Cash App, Acorns, everything else, E-Trade, whatever it might be. It's pretty cool that it's all integrated and stuff like that. But Max, I'm not sure if you can post links because I'm looking at the chat only through OBS Restream. But if you want to throw that, if you're a moderator, throw that link in the live chat for people to consider. I don't have an affiliate link that I could provide to you for tax professionals. I did. I'll probably try to find it. But let's just summarize this. It caused a lot of confusion. A lot of people were upset. Some people were like, whatever, dude, I don't care. But then now the IRS grants a temporary relief on crypto tax reporting rules amid legal challenges, right? So when the IRS did that, caused a stir, and now they're issued temporary relief on crypto cost basis reporting rules, potentially averting increased tax liabilities for digital asset holders. The decision reflects the agency's recognition of the complexities in crypto taxation and the need for regulatory adaptability in response to evolved markets. The relief postpones the implementation of a rule that would mandate centralized exchanges to default to the first in, first out, or FIFO accounting method for capital gains calculation. First in, first out typically assumes the oldest assets are sold first, often leading to higher taxable gains during the market upswings, which is not always true. Like, you can sometimes see it, especially with, say, for example, KDX wallet, right? When you send a transaction and it's large, you actually see a bunch of UTXOs where it's like taking bits and pieces from past transactions and then putting it all into one and then sending it to whatever. Sorry for clapping in your ear, by the way, if you're a headphone user. But yeah, like, it's not always going to take the first, like, it's not going to always take the oldest. It's not going to take the oldest asset or the first time you receive Bitcoin. It might take towards the top of it. Like, how does the centralized exchange track that? I'm assuming with blockchain technology. The client received this much on this day. The client received this much on this day. They sold this much on this day, which took, the December 31st, December 29th, and December 28th inflow of cryptocurrency. So therefore, at the time of receipt, it would have been, $97,000 is the purchase price, and then they sold at a price of $99,000. So the capital gains could be calculated, yada, yada, yada. So it's a lot of different intricacies in this thing. But still, I think this is good because they do need to get their shit together. Not only the centralized exchanges, but the IRS and the U.S. government, right? Like, there's still things that need to be done for additional clarity, for additional, fine tuning. Here's the line in the sand. Don't cross it. If you're going to do business as a broker dealer, a broker house, and this, that, and the other, this is the line in the sand. Don't cross it. If you cross it, we're going to come to you. We're going to educate you. We're going to sit you down. We're going to make sure you understand. And if you continue to, cross that line, then you get fined, Wells notice, whatever. But in the past, it was just like, oh, you crossed the line, Wells notice, you're sued. Oh, you crossed the line, oh, Wells notice, you're sued. Oh, you crossed the line, now I'm going to regulate your ass into the ground so that way you leave our country or you go bankrupt. One of the two. We need to work with these companies to help build our economy. Because I think cryptocurrency, blockchain technology as a whole is beneficial to every country that works with it and not against it. But we'll see. Anyways, investors' concerns center around the potential for inflated tax bills as FIFO, first in, first out, could force the sales of asset purchased at a lower price, increasing gains. Cointracker's head of tax, Shinan, cautioned the immediate application of first in, first out could disproportionately affect crypto taxpayers, potentially triggering substantial tax burdens. The legal challenges. The IRS announcement coincides with the heightened legal and industry scrutiny over the agency's evolving approach to digital asset taxation. Well, it didn't really help, their actions of the past didn't really help anyways. But on December 28th, the Blockchain Association and Texas Blockchain Council filed a lawsuit contesting the IRS expanded reported requirements. The lawsuit challenges the mandate for brokers to report all digital asset transactions, including those conducted on decentralized exchanges, arguing that regulations overstep constitutional bounds, especially for decentralized exchanges. Like, how the hell are they supposed to do that? Like, and then if we come back again, I think Max talked about this. And there's the link, by the way, for Coinly, if you guys are interested in it. Max got an affiliate link in the live chat on YouTube, because I know some of you are watching on X. And by the way, if you're watching on X, hello, how you doing? Anyways, damn it, I forgot my spot. God, my ADHD is kicking in. decentralized exchanges, right? So that's kind of hard to track. I mean, it's on the blockchain, we know that. But how do you know every single person associated with the address? Because like one person could have like 10,000 Solana addresses, or 10,000 Ethereum addresses, and then just moving funds, like that game where you put the ball underneath the cup and you shuffle it around, figure it out. And then for miners, how am I supposed to know the transaction that I'm processing is for XYZ person and track that? Or the transaction is probably being help funding illicit activities that I have not partake in, but because I mined the block, or I processed the transaction for them, or I validated the block on their behalf. Like, how am I supposed to do that? So a lot of new tech needs time to really like settle in, come into fruition, and get properly tracked. Not everything is trackable too, because you got the privacy change. How does the IRS handle privacy tokens? Because it's a privacy token, right? So I would assume when that person converts that privacy token into fiat, that's when it's a taxable event. But everything in between, like, how are you supposed to? I don't know. The government wants too many eyes and too many fingers on too many things, and they're gonna screw themselves. Because remember, the IRS last year, tax season, I think was underfunded and understaffed. So if you're going to add this ruling, which I'm glad they delayed it, that's going to really put your workers, that's going to tax your workers, right? Especially the auditors that need to go in there and double check behind people. Like, it's a lot of work. But anyways, critics of the IRS brought in rules claimed they exceeded the agency's authority and imposed undue burdens on the market participants. Under the expanded framework scheduled to take effect in 2027, brokers will be obligated to report taxpayer information and disclose gross proceeds from crypto transactions. The temporary relief highlights the IRS acknowledgement of the crypto market's volatility nature. Investors' varied strategies. Observers see the decision as a necessary step to balancing regulatory oversight with the crypto industry's operational realities. So delayed, but good. Some more positive indicators. Another one here from Bloomberg. Just going to read the title because I don't pay for this shit. Crypto altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin as investor diversifies in 2025. Ether, XRP, Dogecoin, Solana, and bigger gains than Bitcoin. Price of market. Bellwether Bitcoin surged 120% last year. So altcoins, close to the end of a market correction, according to Vanderpool. So we're talking about altcoins, right? Wow, Vanderpool only has 169K subscribers. I thought he had more than that. Anyways, they're talking about the total 3 chart, right? That tracks the market capitalization of all crypto assets, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum and stablecoins. And they say here that when you look at the altcoin markets, in the sense that you are looking at the total 3 for the instance, which is the altcoin market cap in USDT valuation, then at this point we've seen a substantial big run across the all-time high. And now we're having a very general correction taking place on the markets, with a likelihood, basically, of being close toward the end of this correction. Maybe the beginning of January we'll continue to have 1 or 2 weeks of this correction, then rotate up. So he's expecting altcoins to rally. So Q1 or mid-January, altcoin rally. Are you guys ready for that? Do you want that? Would you be happy for that? Let me know down in the comment section below. But next up, he says Ethereum against Bitcoin is starting to show signs of entering an uptrend, while other altcoins like Scaling Solution, Optimism are experiencing accumulation by investors based on the increased trading volume. If you look at the altcoin valuation, and if you start to look at most of them, for the instance, Optimism against Bitcoin, it's currently seeing a lot of volume coming in into the actual pairs, showing that there is interest at this point, showing that there is accumulation taking place. And Ethereum against Bitcoin is already crawling up, and the rest of the Ethereum ecosystem is currently consolidating or correcting by a little bit. There's gaps between the two, and that says that the entire ETH ecosystem is substantially undervalued. So could ETH pop off? All right, if we go and look at the charts for ETH, and I know a lot of my miners don't care about ETH, right? Kind of like Bitcoin, right? The 31st was a red day. But then well, actually Bitcoin the 31st was a green day. But anyways, point being is they kind of look the same. They went up the same. You know, will we, because we were marching pretty good. We were over 4K. We were looking good on Ethereum. Will we get back to the all-time high for Ethereum? Right? I'm sure a lot of people would like that to happen. I'm sure the Ethereum ecosystem and altcoins that depend on the Ethereum ecosystem would like that to happen. I definitely, personally, just pure speculation on my part, not financial advice, I could see Ethereum being a $7,000 asset. I could see that, right? Matter of fact, I personally expect that, but I could be wrong because I'm just some guy on the damn internet. Do your own research. Stop watching me. I'm joking. I love it when you guys watch me. Well, no, that's weird. No, don't do that. Never mind. Anyways, words out of my mouth are not making sense. Moving on. Altcoins should do good. It should look good, right? XRP, a lot of XRP news here. I'm not going to pick one in particular, but, you know, can XRP reach $4? 2025 predictions for XRP. Token climbs up, blah, 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 blah. I did like, there was one here. I think it's the South Korea one. I'm not sure. But I believe there's a major country that's probably going to implement XRP into its banking system. Yeah, right here. This is blockchain news. I can't vet the 100% source of this, but 80% of Japanese banks to adopt Ripple. I mean, that would be interesting. Maybe it's not accurate. I'm sure it would take a hot minute for that to be implemented. No OnlyFans. No. Dump it. Dump it all to zero so I can buy cheap hardware, says Retro Mike. So yeah, XRP, not an asset that I particularly love, but an asset that the crypto community does support, right? Because what they were doing to fight against the lawmakers, the regulators, whatever, was for crypto. So XRP got a lot of support behind all that because it was like, hey, this is our first stand. How is this going to turn out? And it turned out in their favor. So now XRP is climbing up. You can see XRP is around $2.42. Let's go look at XRP actually on the charts. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Just boop. And we zoom out, way out. Look at that. I'm kind of blocking a little bit, but I can't do anymore, right? So there's that high. And there's that high. So we're basically near the previous all-time high of Ripple. $3.31 is what we need to break. And we're slowly climbing up that way, right? We're slowly climbing up. The high previously that we got to was $2.90. Right now we're at $2.42. On the weekly, we hit $2.50. So a $4 Ripple is certainly possible in my opinion. Just looking at the charts, the hype, the market sentiment. But I think not all altcoins, but a majority of them are going to see some good gains. Now, again, you need to be prepared in your head, have those numbers, those target levels that you're willing to take profits. If you don't already have them set, right, to take profits, stop losses, sell prices, if you don't already have them set, right, through Robinhood, Coinbase, Advanced, Binance, 3 commas, this thing, that thing, whatever you want, I would suggest get those numbers ready. And even if you don't set it and you're just going to monitor it, whether it's through TradingView alerts, whether it's through notifications, whatever, the moment it hits that target, go ahead and take profits. You don't have to sell the whole thing, maybe 10%, 5%, 20%, 50%, whatever. But just be prepared. Be prepared. Because you keep waiting on the sidelines, you're going to be the one left hand on the bag, man. So FDIC took issue with banks using public blockchains like Ethereum, FOIA docs reveal. And I get, again, the Coinbase did share the unredacted FDIC letters, right? Let's see, which one do I want to read first? But anyways, American banks seeking to offer customer services built on public blockchain network appears to have been discouraged from doing so by the FDIC. Of course they did. Of course they did. The disclosure came courtesy of a trove newly unredacted crypto-related correspondence between the FDIC and member banks. San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase obtained the documents via Freedom of Information Act. Last month, Coinbase secured heavily redacted versions of 23 such letters. Thanks to a court order, the contents of these letters and 2 new ones were revealed today in its near entirety. In the letter, the FDIC appears to take issue with banks opting to use public blockchains instead of private permissioned networks. Blockchains like Ethereum and Solana are decentralized permissionless, meaning that activity on them is fully public and cannot be overwritten by third-party human administrators. By contrast, private blockchain networks, like those used by the nation states to issue central bank digital currencies, place limits on who can use them and for what purpose. The FDIC apparently is not a fan of member banks launching products on anything goes, fully transparent networks. The regulator instructed a New York bank in March 2022 letter to submit a new detailed review process before launching any products on the public blockchain. Other letters disclosed Friday show that FDIC ordered member banks to halt the implementation of services related to buying and selling of Bitcoin. Sections of these same letters, unredacted last month, showed that FDIC instructed member banks to pause all crypto asset related activity. So whoa. Time out. Flag in the play. Challenge flag. Then why can you buy Bitcoin? Maybe not the FDIC directly, but governments, states, where do you want them to keep the Bitcoin? You got to keep it in the bank. So I don't know. I would love to sit down with an FDIC leadership or somebody that's familiar with the FDIC structure to understand why they don't want the banks to do so. What has got them concerned? Yeah, the volatility is there. Yeah, there's some risk associated, right, with cryptocurrencies. But with Bitcoin, the risks are minimized. With Ethereum, the risks are minimized. With much of the top altcoins, the risks are minimized. There might be huge drags down and huge pumps up, but I don't know. What does he say here? So Coinbase legal officer, blah, 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 waged against crypto industry banking regulations to become known as Operation Okay. So this wave of action by federal institutions have been dubbed Operation Choke Point 2.0. They show a coordinated effort to stop a wide variety of crypto activity, says somebody on X. Well, let me give him his name. Grual. So it's very interesting. As U.S. regulators warned banks on crypto, but did not order the halt to business, documents show. Basically, pause letters. Why are you pausing? So you can get your money up while I'm sitting here waiting for you to give me the all clear? Because we know that's what you're doing, son. You stacking over there, but when I'm trying to stack, you're like, nah, bro, hold on. And then when you get your money right, then I could get my Nah, bro, get out of here. Get out of here. So anyways, we'll see how that goes. I'm assuming this year is going to be weird, in my opinion. It's going to be good, but weird. I think we're going to have a lot of back and forth on what's right, what's wrong. Them versus us. FDIC does this. Basically, hypocritical actions. I have a feeling that's going to be a lot of hypocritical actions. But I still think that crypto and blockchain will win out, and the future is bright for it. Anyways, moving on. South Korea to reconsider crypto ETF into 2025 amid global demand. So global demand for Bitcoin is climbing ever so high. In South Korea, chairman revealed that they plan to explore the approval of crypto-based exchange-traded fund to continue with its value up program and face the ongoing market challenges. All right, because there's probably how many? Hang on a second. Let's do some. How many billionaires in South Korea? Let's just see here. There's around 37 billionaires in South Korea. All right, what is the net worth? So, net worth of South Korea. Let's say millionaires instead of billionaires. Okay, 11.5 billion. That's not like, oh my god, that's huge, man. But no, wait, there's multiple. Hang on one second. So We got one that's 11.5, another one that's 9.7, 7.5 billion, 6.2 billion. Okay. It's looking promising. So here's the top list, but what is the total? I mean, I guess I could add this all up real quick and figure it out. Right? Not that this is what you want to do on your weekend. Oh, didn't mean to open my Exodus wallet. Excel. Close my Exodus wallet. All right. Just want to see something real quick. Yes. I know it doesn't work. All right. So let's delete this. Let's, well, I got to remove billion, don't I? Yeah. All right. And now some 108 billion. $108 billion. So let's say the millionaires, and that might not be all of it. So let's say 108 billion, but they're only going to allocate 10%. Let's just assume 10%. It could not be 10%, but 10% of that obviously would be like 10 billion. $10 billion. One of these guys' net worth, or at least the top guy's net worth. You know, that could be interesting. That could be interesting to help out, right? On top of that, with more inflows in the United States, other countries taking on ETFs or opening up ETFs, that could be interesting. And you know, South Korea, I don't know. I think they're smart. I would love to go to South Korea. I would love to go to Japan, honestly. But I think the individuals there. I mean, Samsung's there. They're making some good products. I believe they're one of the chains along the semiconductor phase or area. So yeah, I could see that being positive, right? So even though we have humongous outflows recently from BlackRock, some of the others are picking up the slack. MicroStrategy's got a pretty crazy plan. Beautiful plan. When I say crazy, I mean beautiful. The IRS delayed their tax reporting. Altcoins expected to rise in Q1 2024. How high? Nobody knows. XRP continue to do good. FDIC sending backhanded notices to banks, even though we know the government wants to start accumulating Bitcoin, so they're going to need a bank to do it with. So anyways, and then South Korea exploring an ETF. Now, what are VCs, as I leave you here shortly, what are VCs looking for in 2025? Any guesses? Any guesses? Live chat, X, Twitter. What do you think VCs are looking for? By category, right? So when I say category, like DPINs, Web3 gaming, NFTs, what do you think they're looking for? I already know some of the buzzwords that are out there. And there's one that's very popular right this second. But what are VCs looking for? Post it right now in the live chat. Post it in the comments down below. Hopefully you don't skip ahead to know the answer. I want to know from you what you think VCs are. And I'm not moving forward until somebody says something. Damn it. So live chat, where you at, baby? Let's go. What are VCs looking for? Give me some categories. Give me some words, some names, some categories. Matter of fact, let's go to CoinMarketCap, kill some time since you guys aren't talking. Because I might be delayed, though. I don't know. They're looking for number to go up. Duh. Thank you, Retro Mike. And AI agents. Yeah, I knew you were going to say AI agents. You are an AI agent, Retro Mike. I don't know. Are you one? I don't know. I met you in person, but you could have been Cyborg. I don't know. Trending. What's trending? Trending is Sue. What? Would I get demonetized for that? All right. Where is it at, man? Categories. There you go. Where's it at? AI. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we got near, internet, computer. Wait, are they AI? I thought, whatever. Everything's AI now. I'm AI. BitTensor, I know that's AI. Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, Filecoin, Telegraph, Injective. So you can see a lot of the AI tokens up. But if you look at that chart, and I just go back to the main page, they're pretty much doing the same thing. Some might have a little bit more upward momentum than others, but they're all doing the same thing. But yeah, so making sure after transferring more things into cold wallets that everything is represented accordingly. Yeah, you're checking your taxes. You gotta do it. Gotta do it. Yeah, I gotta get my ducks in a row too. I got most of them in a row. But yeah, so AI, no volume, number go up. All right, try yelling. I don't want to yell at you. So obviously it's real world assets, right? Real world assets is 1, yes. AI is 2, yes. I don't know if D-pins are really gonna have their year this year. Is it the next bull market that they really have their year? Like, cause I like D-pins, but the VCs are gonna go where the money's at. So, anyways, let's see here. Recently told Cointelegraph, so Deng Zhao told Cointelegraph that crypto projects will attract more capital from venture capitalists in 2025. These VCs are eyeing stablecoin projects, real-world asset tokenization, and artificial intelligence and infrastructure. Now, they said infrastructure, but is that AI infrastructure or is that decentralized physical infrastructure? Those are different things. As we enter into a supportive macro environment driven by stimulated U.S. policies and formalization of crypto regulatory frameworks, the macro tailwinds are set to drive more VC investment heading into 2025. Despite the optimistic outlook, the CEO cautioned the macro risk, including geopolitical tensions, trips, Chris, and increased deficit spending, could increase price volatility and uncertainty in the new year. So real assets and emerging markets. Dollar peg stablecoins are real world tokenized assets increasingly used as a store of value by individuals and countries with rapidly depreciating local fiat currencies. Right? Instead of storing it in their Argentinian currency, they're storing it in USDT, USDC, whatever it might be, DAI, whatever you call it. Obviously, cheaper fees, near instant finality times, no bank account required to make dollar peg stablecoins a valuable method of providing banking services to the unbanked. According to the World Bank, an estimated 1.4 billion lack access to adequate banking services. This lack of banking services is primarily due to insufficient infrastructure in developing countries, a problem solved by smartphones and internet access and crypto wallets. Real-world asset tokenization sector, which includes government securities, stocks, corporate bonds, stablecoins, collectibles, or other asset tokenization or assets tokenized on the blockchain ledger, is projected to reach a 30 trillion by 2030. That's crazy. Oh, somebody dropped a jellyfish in the chat. I see it. Mining of the North. So VC investment set to increase in 2025, but falls short of 2020 peak. So don't get your panties in a wad or a twist. You might have increased VCs, investing, but it's not going to be the craziness of 2021. Would love to talk to some of these VCs and propose a couple things to them, but it's not a RWA. I don't know. I thought it was going to be D-pins and RWAs. AI for sure, but RWAs, AI, D-pins. But I can see people just flocking to stable coins as their local currency, their country's currency goes to crap. I can see that. Anyways, moving on. Fear and Greed Index. Where's that sucker at? There it is. We're at 60% right now. We're climbing up, or we climbed up in December, November after the election. And then we did a kind of like a Bart Simpson, as you can see right below me. And we came right back down to a low of 48. And then now we're back up to 60. So hopefully Q1 2025 blesses you with profits that you can take so you can take care of your debts, your bills, your family, whatever it is. However, I am managing my expectations. I am controlling my expectations, making sure that I am not setting the goal too high that I get disappointed. Because I've been disappointed a lot in my life, and it's quite unfortunate. Being disappointed right now with some other circumstances in my life, but that has nothing to do with you. I just want you to do well. You, the user. I want you, the community. You, the individual. The people that I actually do DM and reach out to. I try to keep in contact with as many of you as I can, but I can't always do that, especially when I'm busy. But just know that even though you don't know me from Adam and I don't know you from Adam, I care about you and I want you to do well. So I hope you're blessed. I hope you stay positive. I hope you achieve what you need to achieve this year. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to hang out for a little bit longer, about 9 minutes, till 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually Red Panda Mining goes live after me, but they might not on YouTube. Let's go look for them real quick. Buffalo Stadium Live. NFL Buffalo Bills new stadium. Oh, interesting. Might check that out. All right, so Red Panda is going live after me, so I need to open it up and open up a new window and get you guys over there. Hang on one second. Set it up for a redirect. What's going on with this Buffalo Bills stadium? Oh, yeah, crypto.com. I think they're also supported by Coinbase, to be honest. Let's make sure my desktop audio is not messing you up. Nope, you're good. So that's the new stadium, huh? Interesting. Buffalo Bills new stadium live. But I mean, it looks kind of like a baseball stadium, does it not? Or is it just halfway right now? Am I missing something? Or is that really much more bigger than I thought? Anyways, so let me get Red Panda on here to redirect you guys. Any questions, comments, concerns, complaints? Well, if you got any complaints, you can take that to Red Panda for me. We'll take care of it. Don't worry. Oh, Dan Ruggs with the last minute $19.99. Why do you do that, Dan? Stop. I love you. Thank you. But no. Oh, you're silly. You're a silly, silly man. Yeah, I hope 2025 is good for all of you. All right, so no super chats that I saw. Did I miss any super chats? Anybody want to call out a super chat that I missed? Because Restream doesn't show super chats. Or if it does, like I missed it. But yeah, we're getting ready for Red Panda Mining to go live. It looks like crypto is up, mining is up. Are you up? Well, obviously we're up. We're reading it. I like how 21 people sit on Red Panda's video instead of coming into my stream that always goes on at the same time to hang out until Red Panda goes live. Like they hate me. They must hate me. They must. Yeah, I know the pirate hates technicals, so that makes sense. Don't know Piranha cards like that and Cook 4015. I don't know them like that. So, anyways, we'll see. That looks like a Zotac RTX 3070 to me. That's what that looks like. I could be wrong. What do you guys think this card is? Dang, I get that song stuck in my head now. Oh, that's pretty cool. Starting to 2005 with mining with the AL3. Yeah, Red Panda got one. A lot of people got one. Iowa Mining unpacking or hosting 40 more miners. Nice. 40 minutes ago. This is Crypto Mikkel. What really grinds my fans. You know what grinds my gears? Boosted Boys repairing the totaled Cybertruck has been an absolute nightmare. We've seen that. That's old. Ice Storm. Here we go. Be careful. So, Missouri, Indiana, South Ohio, North Kentucky, Illinois. Like, y'all be careful, please. Be careful. Take pictures. Send me some videos of the snow or the ice rain if you don't mind. That'd be really cool. Like, I went up there and I got snowed on. It was nice. But it didn't last long. It got warm and now it's going to get cold again. 4 key moves I'm making in crypto in 2025. This Fox right there. Passive earnings provided bandwidth sharing in December. Nice, Retro Mike. Jellyfish update. If you guys don't know, Brandon Coin created a token called Jellyfish and been doing. They did pretty good. They did pretty good. Provided some guidance, some recommendations. Helped out with a couple things, but that's it. That's his baby. Where you at, Red Panda? Go live. Go live right now, Red Panda. The Terra job. I don't think it's been offered to me, and I don't live close enough to Terra. Like, I would need to move, wouldn't I? I can't. Did you take it? Like, I don't think they just... Hang on. Terra... Do they have, like, a portal to apply or something? I don't think there's a... Oh, that's cool. Smart. Client portal, services, company. Yeah, so I don't think... They don't have, like, a place where you could put your resume or anything like that. But I couldn't move down there. Like, in short, I'm all the way up here. See Jacksonville? It's like a 4-hour drive. I couldn't do that every... Like, 4.5... Depending on my driving style, 3.5. That's a drive to go to work every day for sure. But yeah, no, I'm trying to hook up with Mikkel, and Bits be tripping. Bits be tripping somewhere over here. Mikkel somewhere over here. Scott somewhere over here. I know a couple of my boys up north over here working by the lakes, New York working. But yeah. I wouldn't mind if the pay was good. I wouldn't mind coming to help out. But I would need to get compensated because I'm going to lose money not working on my 9 to 5. Right? Because my job doesn't let PTO roll over for some stupid reason. So yeah, I would lose money. So I need to make money while I'm out there, you know, flying to wherever to help host, set up, configure, you know, set up couple hundred, few thousand machines over X amount of time. I would need to be compensated for my time, but I'll be willing to do it. And if I could shoot some content on it, that'd be great. But not all the farms want you to shoot content, just FYI. They don't want you to disclose any information. So we'll have to see. But it looks like Red Panda's going live. Yeah, Mikkel's super busy nowadays. Super busy, but boys gotta make money. You gotta let him eat, man. Let him eat. So anyways, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for stopping by. We don't roll PTO over either, but we have unlimited PTO. We used to have unlimited PTO, and then they moved my position. They reclassified my position. Whatever. That's a whole different thing off camera. Not going to talk about it. But I just want to say this. It's a new year, 2025. Again, I wish nothing but the best for you, your household, your family, your business, your operation, your corporation. Be nice to one another. Stay positive. Hopefully Q1 would do well for the altcoins. Don't be ashamed to take profits. If it's time to take profits, get those numbers in your heads. Be prepared to do taxes. Make sure you use a good application like Max Voltage recommend Coinly. I'll probably have another video on taxes later on as we get closer. But take care of one another. Be nice to one another. Don't fall into the craziness of this social media of just bashing one another, of being mean, being an asshole, being a jerk, being the other word for the ladies that I want to say. Be respectful. Start the new year right. Help one another out. We can get through this journey together. There's plenty of room for us to all to grow. Stop fighting. It's all love. All right? So hope you had a great holiday. Hope you had a great new year. Let's start 2025 right. All right, y'all? All right, so do me a favor on the way out. Hit that like button, get subscribed, hit notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And you just have yourself a wonderful day. Take care. I'll catch you next one. Today's video is brought to you by CryptoMinerBros.com, a leading cryptocurrency mining hardware vendor / distributor, bringing you the latest offerings from Ice River, Bitmain, Goldshell, WhatsMiner, and much more from all the various manufacturers. And while they are headquartered in Hong Kong, they have mining distribution centers here in North America that can actually save you money on import duties, trusted by a number of different brands or companies in the industry. They also have a great following on social media, and if you follow them, you might get an update on whatever the latest offering is on hardware that comes out, as well as competitive pricing in the industry. If you're interested to learn more, click the link in the description and use coupon